Good evening, fellow YouTubers, and welcome to Mr.V's Impression Theatre. Today, I bring you The Nightmare Before Christmas by Tim Burton, starring the Snake Car as Jack Skellington, Jedi Master Obi-Wan Kenobi as Santa Claus, and narrated by Tim Curry. It was late one fall in Halloween land, and the air had quite a chill. Against the moon, a skeleton sat alone upon a hill. He was tall and thin, with a bat-bow tie. Jack Skellington was his name. He was tired and bored in Halloween land. Everything was always the same. I'm sick of the scaring, the terror and the fright. I'm tired of being something that goes bump in the night. I'm bored from leering my terrible glances, and my feet hurt from glancing those skeleton dances. I don't like graveyards, and I need something new. There must be more to life than just yelling boo. Then out from a grave, with a curl and a twist, came a whimpering, whining, spectral mist. It was a little ghost dog with a faint little bark, and a jack-o'-lantern nose that glowed in the dark. It was Jack's dog Zero, best friend he had, but Jack hardly noticed, which made Zero quite sad. All that night and through the next day, Jack wandered and walked. He was filled with dismay. Then deep in the forest, just before night, Jack came upon an amazing sight. Not 20 feet from the spot he stood were 3 massive doorways carved in wood. He stood before them, completely in awe. His gaze was transfixed on one special door. Entranced and excited, with a slight sense of worry, Jack opened the door to a white, windy flurry. Jack didn't know it, but he had fallen down in the middle of a place called Christmas Town. Immersed by the light, Jack was no longer haunted. He had finally found what he had wanted. And so that his friends wouldn't think him a liar, he took the present-filled stockings that hung by the fire. He took candy and toys that were stacked on the shelves. He took a picture of Santa and all his elves. He took lights and ornaments and a star from the tree. And from the Christmas Town sign, he took the big letter C. He picked up everything that sparkled and glowed. He even picked up a handful of snow. He grabbed it all, and without being seen, and took it back to Halloween. Back in Halloween, a group of Jack's peers stared at the amazement of his Christmas souvenirs. For this wondrous vision that they had not been prepared. Most were excited, while some were quite scared. The next few days, while lightning and thundered, Jack sat alone and obsessively wondered, why is it that they get to spread laughter and cheer, while we stalk the graveyard spreading panic and fear? Well, I could be Santa, and I could spread cheer. Why does he get to do it year after year? Outraged by injustice, Jack thought and he thought, and then he got an idea. Yes, why not? In Christmas Town, Santa was making toys. When through the din he heard a soft noise. He answered the door, and to his surprise, he saw 3 little creatures in strange disguise. They were altogether ugly and rather petite. And opening their sack, they yelled, "Trick or treat!" Then a confused Santa was shoved into a sack and taken to see Mastermind Jack. In Halloween, everyone gathered once more, for they had never seen a Santa before. And as they cautiously gazed at this strange old man, Jack related to Santa his master plan.
"My dear Mr. Claus, I think it's a crime that you get to be Santa all the time. But now I will give presents and I will spread a cheer. We're changing places. I'm Santa this year. It is I who will say Merry Christmas to you. So you will line my coffins, creak doors, and yell boo. And please, Mr. Claus, don't think ill of my plan, for I'll do the best Santa job that I can."
Though Jack and his friends thought they'd do a good job, their idea of Christmas was still quite macabre. Then he hitched up his reindeer on a sleek coffin sleigh. As they packed up and to get ready for Christmas Eve day. But on Christmas Eve, as they were about to begin, a Halloween fog slowly rolled in. Jack said,
"We can't leave. This fog is too thick. There will be no Christmas and I could be Saint Nick. It could do."
Then a small glowing light pierced through the fog. What could it be? It was Zero, Jack's dog. Jack said,
"Zero, with your nose so bright, won't you guide my sleigh tonight?"
And to be so needed was Zero's great dream, and he joyfully flew to the head of the team. And as the skeletal sleigh started its ghostly flight, Jack cackled,
"Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good night."
'Twas the nightmare before Christmas, and all through the house not a creature was peaceful, not even a mouse. The stockings, all hung by the chimney with care, when opened that morning would cause quite a scare. The children, all nestled snug in their beds, would have nightmares of monsters and skeleton heads. The moon that had hung over the new fallen snow cast an eerie pale over the city below, and Santa's laughter now sounded like groans, and the jingling bells like chattering bones. And what to their wondering eyes should appear but a coffin sleigh with skeletal reindeer, and a skeletal driver so ugly and sick they knew in a moment this can't be St. Nick. From house to house with a true sense of joy, Jack happily issued each present and toy. From rooftop to rooftop he jumped and he skipped, leaving presents that seemed to be straight from the crypt. Unaware that the world was in panic and fear, Jack merrily spread his own brand of cheer. He visited the house of Susie and Dave. They got a Gumby and Pokey from the grave. Then on to the house of little Jane Neiman. He got a baby doll possessed by a demon. A monstrous train with tentacle tracks. A ghoulish puppet wielding an axe. A man-eating plant disguised as a wreath. And a vampire teddy bear with very sharp teeth. There were screams of terror, but Jack didn't hear it. and he was too much involved with his own Christmas spirit. Jack finally looked down from his dark, starry flight and saw the commotion, the noise, and the light.
Why, they're celebrating. It looks like such fun. They're thanking me for the good job that I've done.
But what he thought were fireworks meant as goodwill were bullets and missiles intended to kill. And amidst the barrage of artillery fire, Jack heard Zero to go higher and higher, and away they flew like the storm of a thistle, until they were hit by a well-guided missile. Oh, and as they fell on the cemetery way out of sight, was heard,
Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good night.
Jack pulled himself from a large stone cross, and from there he reviewed his incredible loss.
I thought I could be Santa. I had such belief.
Jack was confused and filled with great grief. Not knowing where to turn, he looked up to the sky, and he slumped onto a grave and started to cry. And as Zero and Jack lay crumpled on the ground, they suddenly heard a familiar sound. "My dear Jack," said Santa, "I applaud your intent. I know wreaking havoc was not what you meant. And so you are sad and feeling quite blue, but taking over Christmas was the wrong thing to do. I hope you realize Halloween's the right place for you. There's a lot more, Jack, that I would like to say, but now I must hurry, for it is almost Christmas Day." Then he jumped onto his sleigh, and with a wink of an eye, he said, "Merry Christmas!" and he bid them goodbye. Back home, Jack was feeling sad. But then, like a dream, Santa had brought Christmas to the land of Halloween. And that concludes this second half of Mr. V's Impression Theatre Christmas Special. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you all next time. Good night, and may the good Lord take a liking to you.